Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Dogboat333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4: The New Order. Last year's Europe as the United States of America. Now, last video, we went through a pretty crazy legal battle up against the uranium mines, which we basically seized full stop and said, okay, we're taking control of the mines now. And we won, so we own the mines. We also just sent out a big notice to the nuclear powers, Germany and Japan, that we will bomb the ever-loving shit out of them if we want to, and if they try anything. Which is a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if that works. Real quick, because I have a feeling this is going to be the last video. I'm going to do event oil.601. You shouldn't be seeing this. Remove the modifier, please. Thank you. So, removed the oil crisis. We're moving on to something else. Something better. We'll do 7-second detections. Contingency planning and redundancies must be built into every strategy. What if the enemy overpowers our forward warning stations in Australia and Iceland by surprise? America cannot be left defenseless due to its reliance on forewarning from distant shores. We will install a final set of early warning radars in Canada and Alaska. If they ever end up dependent on these systems, the window will retaliate. If we ever end up dependent on these systems, the windows to retaliate will be minuscule. But it will be there. And then we'll ready the big stick. And then we'll do the nuclear disarmament negotiations. Real quick, I better grab my phone. Well, not my phone, my phone charger. Because like last time, I've spent so much time playing as John Glenn that my phone is going to die. Because I've had my timer going for so damn long. So, let me... Okay, phone is plugged in. We are ready to get back to it. Well, we weren't ready to stop by any means. Fuck, who was it? I think it was a conservative. We'll go with conservative option. Seven-second detonations. And we can go ahead and launch it. Which I think we'll do. Forward onto the heavens. 7-second detonations. Ready the big stick. Just in case the Germans and Japanese thought that all of our previous military posturing and development was just a dog and pony show, we'll make sure that we have a demonstration of the latest and greatest American military inventions and hardware for all the world to see. It would be terrible waste for this to actually ever be used, of course, and we're counting on the Germans and Japanese seeing it the same way that we do. Well, you know what they say about counting. I can't do it. I don't even know how to read, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know where this joke is going. I think it's a leftover from my, whatchamacallit. Beautiful. So we're negative 520 million into debt. Decision dot no checks. Invest. There you go. Decision dot no check. Again. If only NAS had this in real life, am I right? I mean, shit, they wouldn't have to worry about all this budgetary shit. Spring-like construction. Yep, ready the big stick. And a fragile piece. America now maintains the means to destroy its enemies 1,000 times over, to take every nuclear weapon in their arsenal and match it, and then some. The quantitative and qualitative superiority of our atomic arsenal is manifestly clear. Manifestly clear. That's the word. I know what that word is. And our enemies challenge it at their own peril. With our own nuclear superiority as an article of faith amongst the American public, surely we can afford to be magnanimous. Through the strategic arms limitation talks, we hope to convince the superpowers to take a step back from the precipice of oblivion. We do not seek the adulation of Germany and Japan, only that their representatives come to the table as reasonable men to promise the world that the sun will rise tomorrow. All right. Great. The elections are done. This is our Congress permanently, I realized. We don't have any election stuff programmed, I think. Or the devs don't. Why would I have stuff programmed in? So I know we can either do what? We're going to have a conference coming up with Germany. Oh god, they integrated Poland, Ostland. And I know they integrated Holland a while ago. Japan. I'm pretty sure Bao Dai was supposed to die. And then you have Ho Chi Minh. There might be something there that I don't understand. For decades, since the first man split the atom, the great powers of the world have been amassing ever-increasing stockpiles of nuclear warheads. These warheads could end the world several times over. They presently sit idle in the missile silos, aircraft hangars, and submarines. As new anti-ballistic missile technologies develops, the cost to modernize our stockpiles and reaching to new developments begins exponentially multiplying. President Glenn knows that we have no choice but either live in peace, die in pieces, or go bankrupt as our stockpile increases. He knows his choice, but it'll be meaningless unless Germany and Japan sign on. That last sentence is great. That's a beautiful rhyming thing. Let's set a time and place for all three superpowers to sit down, discuss de-escalation, present our arguments for everyone stepping back from the brink, and hope that Germany and Japan can see reason. There will be many issues that could complicate the talks, such as the deterrence argument, fears about Italy and India's nuclear ambitions, the security of a spear in the Russian front, and the Japanese fears for a successful U.S. invasion. We'll have to be prepared to respond to all of these concerns should we hope to end this world-threatening Mexican standoff once and for all. On to selecting a venue. What do we even have left to do? Alright, I guess this. I guess now we just sit back and watch. A new dawn. Today, more men and women will go to work and start new enterprises than ever before in our country's history. Thousands of American children will come of age with bright futures ahead of them. Thousands of American men and women will be married today and will look forward to their new lives, confident that their country will offer stability and prosperity. Thousands of veterans will retire today and spend their twilight years in a country far better off than they returned to it. It's morning again in America. Under the leadership of President Glenn, our country is prouder and stronger than better. We now talk about the American dream without a hint of sarcasm. The first time in decades, our country has something to believe in, and defeat is just a dying memory. It goes without saying that the talks should be held on neutral grounds. Italy and India are rising powers that are obviously off limits as well. Our negotiation team has narrowed down 3 viable options: Buenos Aires, Istanbul, and Lhasa. Buenos Aires is closest to us and is a sunny and welcoming city. One of the highest qualities of life in Latin America, beautiful architecture and vibrant culture, it could be a relaxing destination where all parties could feel at ease. Plus, we hear Argentine beef is almost as good as Kobe beef. Istanbul is closer to Germany. It's a truly historic town. The Hagia Sophia dominates the landscape, and over 1,500 years of history surrounds you as you gaze across the Bosphorus. A nice Turkish coffee may warm the hearts of our negotiating partners. Lhasa is closest to Japan, and is the ancient capital of Tibet. It's one of the highest elevated cities on Earth, and is beautifully nestled in the Nichian Tangla Mountains. Potala Palace could be the perfect venue for our talks. Perhaps the surrounding tranquility of our local Buddhist monks could set the negotiators on the private path to peace. We'll save here in case it goes horrible. No, I think Lhasa sounds like a really... Lhasa sounds really neat and cinematic. Let's try Lhasa. Oh. And our mission is prepping, but I think we'll launch it after we finish this all up. Public approval is high. Germany? Japan? What are you guys thinking? Huh. The Japanese and Germans have seen reason and agreed to negotiate. Their delegates are right on the way to Lhasa, and our men are packing their bags too. This is already a good sign of the future of these talks, and given that we have a large nuclear arsenal, we are poised to provide key leadership in the negotiations. The ball is now in our courts, and all that remains once we get to the table in Lhasa is to make the first move. On to Lhasa. In a development that has shocked the world, delegates from Germany, Japan, and the USA are on their way to Lhasa to begin talks on a treaty to limit and dismantle their nuclear arsenals. While this has been a long-term goal of President Glenn since the beginning of his administration, few expected the Japanese and Germans to respond favorably. Perhaps it was rapid expansion of the American nuclear stockpile over the years that inspired the other powers to come to the table, but one way or another, the wheels are now in motion for a first-of-its-kind disarmament treaty. The results of these negotiations remains to be seen, but many are hopeful that this will be the first meaningful step towards peace. Fingers crossed. You know, I really want to see someone unify over here, so Tomsk or... Should I do Tomsk or the Ural district? Everyone has arrived in Lhasa. The Germans look fresh and ready for anything. The Japanese look hesitant, somewhat unsure of our attentions. At least we can rest assured that as the largest nuclear power, we have the most to sacrifice at these talks. There are two main options for an open argument to sell the former axis on disarmament. The first arguments are pure pragmatism. Our nuclear stockpiles are putting all of us in the red. If we agree we don't want to launch first strikes, then cutting costs on our atomic arsenals would be a no-brainer. This argument would prioritize cutting spending on APM systems and limiting our ICBM stockpiles. This is a more realistic goal and will preserve our advantage in missile gap, but only achieve very limited spending reductions in disarmament. The second's more moral and idealistic. We can tell the nations point blank that we cannot let a war between the nations and the human race. We're on the brink of destruction, we need to all step the hell back for the good of mankind. This will lead to massive disarmament and equally massive savings, if it works. If not, we may well walk away with nothing. Japan is particularly afraid of us launching an invasion if there's no nuclear deterrent to stop us. I mean, we gotta go for the moral argument. I think. I believe these guys are on standby. We'll launch them depending. Oh wait, we need I just realized we need 4 of these missions successful. Not just 3. So I better get working on that now if I want to, Oh, this is awkward. We have set the bar high for these talks with our near-total disarmament proposal. Now it's time we talk specifics. What future will ICBMs have in our militaries? If President Glenn gets away, they shall have no future whatsoever. If the ICBM launch buttons are ever to be pressed, then they have failed in their purpose. No nation ever wants to use ICBMs in a war, so it's time to ban their construction and limit their stockpile. President Glenn will propose a ban on all ICBM constructions and a limit of no more than 25 ICBMs per nation. This will be enough for a token arsenal without being too low to cause human extinction to all be fired. We shall send this detailed off to other parties and await their response. We gotta aim big. We gotta aim high to win big. Beautiful. 24 public support. Probably raise a spending cap. At the very least, work on getting out of debt. And then... no checks. Invest into the Ares program. Here we go. After 72 days, 71 days. I'll get the effects from civilian austerity. Holy shit, that actually worked! Miraculously, we have somehow convinced these superpowers to agree to near total ICBM disarmament. After this treaty is signed and implemented, there will only be 75 ICBM warheads left functioning in the world. Nowhere near enough to cause human extinction alone. The world is stunned by the incredible victory we've won today. No one expected a result as profound as we have achieved. The world's nuclear stockpiles will plummet, and the doctrine of GMAD is on its way to being a footnote in history. Most importantly, NASA will be able to fund itself till kingdom come. With the amount of money this will save, Glenn's going to be a goddamn hero to the world after this. Final on the agenda is a proposal for an SLBM limitation treaty. Let's hope this goes just as smoothly. The clock sprints away from midnight. Oh, wow. Yeah, we actually... I mean, we're still horribly... We still have a horrible fucking deficit, but... yeah, wow. Oh, no, don't do that! Don't do that! It's against the point of a treaty. Oh. Heinrich Himmler is fucking spinning right now. I bet he wish fucking Heydrich was still alive. So he would shoot him. And not have to live through this shit. Oh, buddy. I'm shocked, honestly. This is going way better than I thought it would. Early this morning, as President Glenn was briefing the press on the progress of negotiations, a small man in a gray coat launched forward from a crowd of reporters brandishing a small pistol and fired at the president. Miraculously, the bullets merely grazed Glenn's coat, and the assailant was swiftly tackled by nearby reporters and hauled away for questioning by the Secret Service. The president was swiftly rushed to safety, and the building was placed on lockdown. The man in custody, and promised to immediately write out a confession of his entire plot, was asked for his pen and piece of paper. Unfortunately, when we gave him his pen after he was frisked, he merely bit down on the nib. The man was dead before his body hit the floor, apparently a case of an intentional cyanide poisoning. The man has been identified as a Mr. Ernst Gottlieb, a native of the German Reich. While he had press credentials, he was also in possession of documents indicating he was an intelligence officer within the Wehrmacht. We have sent an urgent message for Germany for an exclamation, and the talks have been frozen until a decision can be made. What the hell is going on? Himmler! After an hour, Germany has responded to our ultimatum demanding the exclamation. They claim that Mr. Gottlieb's military papers are clever forgeries. While we have been asked to keep this information confidential, they have informed us that the man is almost certainly a member of Heinrich Himmler's Burgundian SS attempting to sabotage Velocitalks. They have informed us that while Burgundy remains de jure part of the Reich, it's been de facto independent ever since the outbreak of the German Civil War. They assert that Himmler has been sent as a traitor to Germany ever since his failed putsch, and that he is a top enemy of the Fuhrer. While they're not entirely sure why Burgundy would want to sabotage the disarmament talks, we suspect that Burgundy has staged a false flag attack to damage Germany's international reputation and sow chaos within the German government in anticipation of a second Himmlerite putsch. These claims about Burgundy smack of a conspiracy theory, one which has little evidence about other than the Nazis' word. It's also unclear why Germany would want to assassinate the president. The fact that the three powers have reached an initial agreement would suggest Germany's interest in disarmament. And doesn't it seem crazier that Germany would agree to partial disarmament, then assassinate the President of the United States, then Himmler would try to sabotage these talks? Choice is yours, Mr. President. Shall we trust Germany and carry on with the talks, or pull out now in case something worse awaits us down the road? You know, if you honestly believe that if you want me to believe, honestly, that Heinrich Himmler is concocting this crazy, evil plan to sabotage world peace and bring tension to people, honestly, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I trust you. Let's continue things. That's, honestly, yeah, that's totally something I can see Himmler do. Vowing that all foreign attempts at sabotage would never stand at the path of peace, President Glenn proudly announced that lots of talks would resume with added security. President Glenn is confident that Germany had nothing to do with an attempt on his life, and that Germany and Japan both expressed willingness to discuss further disarmament. The world has breathed a sigh of relief after holding their breath in the wake of the assassination attempt. While no one has officially been blamed for the attack yet, inside sources are speaking on condition of anonymity, are suggesting that the intense intelligence scrutiny is currently being placed on the Burgundian Order state. In any case, it appears that the peace has prevailed through terrible adversity. The clock retreats further from midnight. Yeah, this is actually gonna work. Holy shit. The Dhofar Rebellion is hanging on. After signing the ICBM limitation treaty, it's time to move to the last item on our agenda: submarine-launched ballistic missiles. While SLBMs are cheaper to maintain than ICBMs, they are still dangerous and expensive pain in the ass. Something needs to be done about these missiles. Our negotiating team has come up with two proposals: converting nuclear armed submarines to conventional submarines, or scrapping the boats and warheads together. The second has a greater savings potential, but first may be an easier pill for the ours to swallow. It might be best to not push our luck, but we could compromise if we get pushback on scrapping the boats. What shall our option be? We'll save up. Scrap the warheads and the boats. Let's try for it. How's our time doing? The first rejection, Japanese delegation reacted coolly to our limitation proposal, particularly the objective reduction of their naval power that would come from scrapping so many submarines. They demand that we in turn scrap a significant amount of destroyers for the sake of naval parity. Their objection would put a major dent in our Navy and cause some controversy at home. At the same time, we don't really plan on a war. Maybe this compromise is a blessing in disguise. Less money on destroyers means more money spent on NASA. We may lose face if we agree to this compromise. It may also be the only way to get the Japanese to move on the negotiations. What shall it be? We can scrap some destroyers. What does it matter? If it'll be unpopular, so be it. You know what's also unpopular? Thermonuclear holocaust. I'm just saying. Also, I know Ceylon is now independent. That's nice for them. Germany and Japan have both agreed to reduction of in the ballistic missiles, which shall be favorable warheads. Two options present themselves as we could allow the warheads to remain operational since the range is too limited to be of serious threat to the superpowers. Alternatively, in true spirit of disarmament, we could have them completely scrapped. The powers would be more likely to agree to scrapping them, as it would be more fair. This would result in bigger savings and less danger to the world. But if we have a need for medium-range missiles, we could try to push and maintain them. Tread carefully, as the powers may not see the point of such a proposal. Let's scrap them. I thought that's a Saarland front. Nope. Well, these guys are still at war. Jesus. Oh my god, what's wrong with your oh, that's face paint. No, that's not face paint. Oh my god, what's wrong with your face? That actually might be face paint. I can't tell. And, we're ready to launch Ares 4. I think we'll wait for, some other stuff to happen first, of course, but... we have liftoff. Oh. Let's work on paying off the debt. After lengthy negotiations, both Germany and Japan have agreed to our SLBM proposal. The second and last major treaty of velocity talks has been signed today, and we can say with confidence that these talks were concluded successfully. With the conference wrapped up, we can return home proud of our accomplishments. NASA will rejoice from a major funding boost. The world will breathe a sigh of relief that they have lost a lot less cause to fear a war between the superpowers. President Glenn returns to America a hero. The press is already raving about his diplomatic mastery. There's still much to be done, from the fear of rising powers like Italy and Burgundy, but at least now the big three are on the path to peace. A great day for the world. We actually did it. Holy shit. Yeah. I think with that, there's only one other thing we can do, that we need to do. Oh, fuck. Okay, go back. There's not much else content-wise for the US from here, I think. So? Fuck, okay. I guess we're going all in. Should have, you know, maxed it out. I guess a bit earlier, but what are you going to do? I mean, what were the odds at? You're not, what? I actually, I've camped and died, and I just know that 10% is a bitch. So, test the rocket. Custom facilities. You don't even need that. Decision.no checks. Well, this was fun. I enjoyed this series. I don't think it was quite as good as my Spear campaign. I enjoyed that a heck of a lot more, and I think that had a lot more, I guess, more of an emotional impact. I guess. Though this was fun and it was a good deal of fun here. Don't get me wrong. The writing was fun. I guess the biggest problem is that there's just not much going on now as things kind of go about. Because, you know, we're at... Content stops at 72. Most other countries don't have content, so the fact that we still have stuff to do, and it's going this late, it's more of a reflection on, it's TNO 1. Whenever TNO 2 comes out, we'll have that. We can launch the Ares 4. 100% prepared. Forward, on to heavens. Today was a day. The beginning of NASA's next golden age. Standing at 30 minutes to countdown, every television set in the United States was tuned in to see the launch of Ares 4. One of the biggest projects in NASA history, the rocket is expected to land on Mars once it takes off into the stratosphere. At 15 minutes to launch, the American public watches with bated breath, not knowing whether the launch would fail or succeed. Only time would tell, as the astronauts on board awaited the final countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In a matter of moments, the rocket's boosters ignite, and with well over a few million Americans tuned in, Ares 4 takes off from the launch pad. The launch is a great success as the rocket eventually fades into the darkness of space. Americans from coast to coast all rejoice at the Space Administration's historic accomplishment. Even though NASA officials believe it will take 270 days before Ares 4 makes it to the Mars landing, American patriotism soars as a country. Now it's its own horse in the space. Oh God, we shouldn't have waited at all. President Glenn attends a huge celebration at the White House with members of NASA, but the calmness of a lonely air draws him outside. As the night continues, Glenn is content with staring up at the stars as he muses on the successful flight. Alone, the president looks up at Mars and smiles, his champagne glass held out as if he's asking constellations to dine with him. Mission complete. If only I could have seen it. I'll hold out for a few days. Just kind of wait and see if we end up, getting any events. If not, I'll cut it here, and next video we'll pick up when we land at Mars. $118 research points, 20 public support. Damn straight. Man. Yeah, I think I'll just start wrapping it up here, folks. Thank you as always for watching. If you like this video, go and leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for more uploads every weekday, as well as every Saturday. If you have any comments, feedback, concerns, anything of the sort, leave in the comment section below. I read all comments I get. I appreciate any all feedback you might have for me. If you want to see me for bucks more, I have a Patreon down below. We can chat, play games, just have a fun old time in general. And if you want to watch me do Source Surf Live, I have a Twitch. You can check that out. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been DB333. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.